Hi, Mr. Rose class. Today we're going to be teaching about the Hapsburg Empire and why it lasted 500 years. Our main theory is that because of its hard rulers, it was able to last so long. Now let's get into the video. The Austrian Empire was an empire that lasted several hundred years. It held itself together by tough ruling and resilience. It had many issues because many people in the empire did not speak the same language and did not have the same religion. It was made up of Germans, Hungarians, Serbians, Slavs, Ruthens, Slovaks, Croats, Poles, Bosnians, Italians, Czechs, and Romanians. It all started with Otto II, the first known ruler. It was not until King Rudolf, the first of Germany. He moved to Austria, and then the Austrian Empire kept expanding. Let's skip towards the 1500s, when Charles V was of importance. He was the start of the Spanish Hapsburgs, which died out quicker than the Austrians due to close intermarriages. Although all Habsburgs did have intermarriages, the Spanish Habsburgs happened to have very, very, very close intermarriages. Their intermarriages were like uncle and niece, which led to a lot of defects. Flipping back to the Austrians, in 1711, Charles VI is born. He will be a very strict and all-powerful ruler who keeps the empire held together. Charles VI wanted to create a strong and united state, so he expanded Austria by adding Bohemia, Hungary, and Poland. He had some downfalls, like nearly bankrupting the country by getting in the middle of the War of Polish Succession. He died when he was 55 on October 20th of 1740. But Charles VI had an issue. He had no male heir. At the time, this was a big deal. He made all rulers sign a sanction that promised they would treat his daughter Maria Theresa the same as any other male heir. And of course, everyone signed, because Charles VI had a huge army and everyone was very scared of him. The sanction they signed was called the Pragmatic Sanction. Charles VI made a lot of precautions to make sure Maria Theresa would end up being a very lawful ruler. Unfortunately, contrary to their promises, many countries did not keep their promises, specifically Prussia. Prussia's old ruler, who had signed this sanction, had died a few months prior, and his son had risen to power. His son, Frederick the Great, attacked Austria and was winning. He attacked in 1740 and did not take much land. The French and Spanish joined in. Maria, the new empress, was angry because they had not honored their promises to her father. She knew she had to fight back to show Prussia and other countries, including her own, her power. So she gathered the Hungarians and she fought back. She traveled all the way to the Hungarian part of her empire. How crazy! She did lose some land, but she won it back during the War of Austrian Succession, with the help of Netherlands and Great Britain. Despite the resistance from her empire, everyone learned to respect her. By the end of the war in 1748, Maria Theresa gained back the majority of her land, and her husband was crowned Holy Roman Emperor, which also helped Austria. Through her reign, she showed what a female ruler can really do, and proved that gender is not a factor in the way you rule. She had a very powerful reign, which is a big part in the success of holding the Austrian Empire together, which is a very hard job to do. Maria Theresa had many thoughts of enlightening, education, and science that are still around and used today. Maria Theresa married a man of different house, the House of Lorraine. This started the new part of the empire, the House of Hapsburg-Lorraine. She had loved him since childhood and married for love and not power. They were married 27 years until he passed away. She had 16 children with him, and many of them did great things for the world. One of the most important was Maria Antoinette, and she became the Queen of France. Now let's talk about the War of Austrian Succession. It started December 16th of 1740 in the Hapsburg Empire. The war lasted from 1740 to 1748. On December 16th, Prussia attacked Silesia in the Hapsburg Empire, but did not push any farther. Silesia was one of the most richest parts of the Hapsburg Empire, so this was very upsetting for Maria Theresa. The war was Prussia, France, Spain versus Austria, Netherlands, and Great Britain. The Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle was a treaty that restored much of Maria Theresa's land. Prussia kept Silesia, and many issues between France and Great Britain were not resolved. You may be wondering, what happened after Maria Theresa? Well, I'll tell you. Her children, Joseph II, who was her first male heir, becomes the new ruler of the Austrian Empire. And then when he passes, Leopold II becomes the new emperor. And after that, Leopold's son, Francis II, is the ruler. Thank you for watching.